Well, I thought you all might like to watch me make a little bit of cat food. When I initially started feeding raw, I ground everything, purchased it at the supermarket, and used a lot of supplements and ground it up per a specific recipe, which I do recommend if you're going to grind and make your own. You really do need to do your research and get your supplements correct and your quantities. And then I didn't like cutting up a chicken, for example. I made a terrible mess of it. So I stopped grinding for many years. This is a grinder I bought in 2004. I can't remember what kind it is. I think it's a northern grinder. It'll do bones, small chicken legs and stuff like that. Anything bigger than that and is going to kind of hang up on you. But in this last few months, actually in the last year or so, I discovered this food, which is real raw food. They're in Maine, but if you order 50 pounds, they'll ship anywhere in the United States for free, which is actually pretty amazing. But you've got to have a little freezer in order to store it, otherwise it's just not going to work. So this summer I started ordering it. You can order pre-ground, which is pretty good, and then you need to add some supplements to it per whatever recipe you decide upon. But I'm now grinding the various elements. For example, this is chicken necks, provides meat and bones, and I've got chicken leg meat, turkey hearts, and this is rabbit, and I'll grind it all together. The rabbit's got the bone in. Heart is actually not considered an organ, it's considered a meat. And also I buy them in 1 pound bags so that you can mix them together in the appropriate ratios. The organs that I got is liver and kidney, which are considered the most important. 50% of your organ meat should be liver, and there's a specific ratio that you go by. 60% meat, that's meat with no bones. For that I've got the chicken leg meat. Chicken leg meat is good, it's very high in taurine. 30% raw meaty bones, that would be chicken necks. I've got some rabbit raw meaty bones, and when you buy, if you do buy this stuff from the realrawdog.com, they will tell you if it's considered raw meaty bones or if it's considered meat. Then 10% should be organs, and 50% of that should be liver. So 5% liver and 5% other organs. And you mix all of that together. And then I add some salmon oil. And that should be pretty good, although you're not going to want to do that for 100% of their diet. Just as in any kind of cat food, they do recommend that you change different brands, different types, because none is going to be complete. Well, it could be completely formulated, but some are just going to have different nutrients than others. So it's wise to mix your different sources in your different foods and pay attention to what you're feeding them. You don't want all bone. Too much bone will cause constipation. Too much liver, for example, will cause diarrhea. So anyway, I'm grinding this up. We'll try a couple of these. Last time I bought chicken backs, but they were difficult for me to cut up. The necks are actually pretty easy because you don't need to cut them. They slide into the top of this thing pretty easy here. There we go. I've already ground up the organs, and they're ready to they'll be ready to add to the mixture when I'm done here. And I might also point out that I'm using a die. There's different dies that the grinders come with. This one did not actually come with that die. It has just huge kidney-shaped holes in the blade. So it's basically chunking it. So my kiddies are going to have something to chew on, which is one of my objectives. The problem with that is that there are going to be some chunks of bone in there, and people are afraid their cats are going to choke on these things. Well, there's that possibility, all right. But human beings don't walk around eating nothing but pate, and they choke every now and then as well. Cats are probably much better equipped to deal with that than humans are. This is the kind of die that it comes with. The size of hole, this is actually a pretty big size here. This is probably the biggest size that will come with the machine. And then you can buy this chunker die. I think I got it on eBay. I've been using the chunker because I want them to be chewing on bone, and I can't get them to just grab a chicken neck and run off with it. They just haven't been raised that way. I suppose if I'd started them out, they would be able to just do what they call, I think, frankenprey or whatever, where you just throw the pieces down in the certain percentages every day. That is a little bit too much thinking work for me. I get it all planned together, planned out, and then I'll grind this up. I ordered 50 pounds, and then I'll grind it up in 5 or 6 sessions and freeze it as I go. This is turkey heart now that I'm grinding, and I'm just mixing the kidney that you buy. Real raw is beef. You can get chicken or turkey hearts. I got turkey hearts. The rest is chicken, and then I do have some chunked rabbit. It's the most expensive, so I just buy a little bit of it, and I mix all that stuff together. So they'll have a number of different meats in the proper ratio of meat, bone, and organ in each batch. And I will mix that with my Darwins and whatever else I'm feeding. I'll mix and play with it. Sometimes they'll get just one type of food in a day. Sometimes they'll get several. Sometimes they'll actually be mixed together. It varies all the time and in constant rotation. And the kitties don't seem to have developed any kind of finicky eating habits, which hopefully they won't. This is chicken leg meat. I'm grinding this up. It's just barely thawed out. Just thawed out enough so that I can pull it apart, because I'm just going to turn around and refreeze it again. Okay, it's all ground up here. We've got about 9 pounds. And I'll put in 9 squirts of the salmon oil. And that's the only supplement I'm going to add, because with the meat, bones, organ ratio, it should have all of the nutrients they need. Plus I'm feeding them a lot of other kinds of foods as well. So I don't have a bowl big enough to hold 9 pounds, so I'm going to have to mix them back and forth here a little bit. Get them mixed up good and well. Should emphasize this is not for the beginner or someone who doesn't really know what they're doing. So do your research and don't take my word for it on as far as ratios and formulas and all that kind of stuff. You need to look into it yourself. But it is a good diet for your kitties if you decide to do this a little extra work. If not, there are now lots of good commercial diets on the market. I'm just trying to get my kitties to be chewing on a little bit more. I kind of hate to see them eating this pate soupy stuff all the time exclusively, so it's nice to have them chewing on something. Well, looks like we're ready. We put the tops on it and pop them in the freezer. We'll keep one out to feed today and tomorrow. Next stop is the freezer. Okay, this is my little freezer. It's out here in the garage. It's just a 5 cubic foot freezer. Bought at Sears. One of the best investments I ever made for raw feeding. This is 50 pounds of the real raw dog food that came from Maine. I think I mentioned that it came all the way from Maine to California. I was initially dismayed by the distance, but it gets here frozen and it was in a heat wave, so it's good. It's hard to beat their free shipping if you can handle 50 pounds. My freezer in the house is full, so I'm going to have to put this stuff in here. It looks like we're just going to manage it. Just. There we go. So I will divvy it up in about 6 grinding sessions. This is the box it came in. Just a styrofoam box with ice packs. Exactly 50 pounds fits in this, and they'll ship that for free. If you go over 50 pounds, then of course they have to add another box, and it becomes a problem. So 50 pounds is the magic number. If you live, of course, much closer to them, then you really got it made. I think they'll ship smaller quantities for free in the nearby states to Maine.